Hi everybody, my name is Halima Aleru. I am a project manager, and because of my passion for cooking, I love to cook. I love to see people eat my food. I love to feed people. I got to know about the Food Meets Fame competition online. I was just scrolling through my timeline as usual and I saw it. So the funny part was I actually even submitted the recipe, I think on the last day of the competition, but I didn't go in with the mindset I was actually going to win, because I mean, when I went to the page and I was going through the hashtag, like I saw loads and loads of recipes and I was like, I can't match up with these people. But then my passion took over, the creative part of me took over, and I just decided to create a recipe and I submitted, and I was very happy that I was one of the 15 top people that they chose to contest for the finals of the competition. Okay, so guys, now I'm going to show you how I make my amazing shrimp vegetable couscous, and I'm also going to be introducing you to the ingredients I use to make this recipe. The reason why I chose this recipe is I've been hearing a lot of people complain about, oh, couscous is not nice, I don't like couscous, it's just bland, it is not an interesting food. And truthfully, from my own experience growing up, I've had couscous once and the experience was terrible. It was just there and I hated it. But now growing up, I decided to, okay, let me try this recipe, let me try to revamp it, add one or two things to it, and then just see how it's going to go. And I tried this recipe and it was just amazing, and I'm like, see, this recipe, I'm going to choose couscous over rice. Trust me, it tasted better than the normal fried rice I'll usually make, and that is why I've decided to create this recipe for you guys, put it out there for you so you can also enjoy couscous as much as I have been enjoying couscous. Golden Penny is my favorite product when it comes to couscous, their pasta, their semovita, their cooking oil, because I've tried other brands of couscous, but trust me, there were nothing to write home about. Even the international brands, I just end up finding out that they're either too soggy or there's just one thing wrong with them or another. And then somebody actually advised me to try Golden Penny, that she had tried it, and I did, and it was wonderful. And since then I've been hooked to Golden Penny's couscous. Their pasta also, I do not buy any other pasta if it is not Golden Penny. I don't care if I go to a supermarket and I see other imported brands, if it is not Golden Penny, I am not buying it. Here are the ingredients I'll be using for this recipe. I have some shrimp here, they've been deveined and cleaned. I have my onion, my curry powder, sweet corn, some red bell pepper, green bell pepper, yellow bell pepper. I have some carrots also, spring onion. I have salt, scotch bonnet pepper, seasoning cube. And for the star of today, I have here my Golden Penny Couscous. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by chopping my bell pepper. I'm starting with the yellow bell pepper. So I am just going to be taking away the seed inside. So here I have my chopped yellow bell pepper, and I'll just be transferring it gently into this bowl. So I'll go ahead and chop the red and the green bell pepper now, starting with the red. So same thing, just going to cut it in half and take out the inside, the seeds. So just like I diced my yellow bell pepper, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the red bell pepper. I have here my green bell pepper, red bell pepper and yellow bell pepper already chopped. So now what I'm going to be doing is to chop my carrots. So for the carrots, I already scraped the back. So I usually do this because of the dirt and the sands in carrot, and you don't know what hand has touched the skin, the outer part. So I usually just scrape my carrots before I then go ahead to chop them. Okay. So you just chop the carrots into the sizes you want, as big or as small as you want them. That's totally your choice, and also the shape you want to cut them in. So I have my carrots here nicely chopped, so I'll be transferring it into this dish. So now I'll be dicing my onion here. I already took out the outer layer of it. Transferring it into this little bowl here. So for my garlic, I just like to do this before dicing. It makes it easier for me. So just smash and then just go ahead and just mince it. Next, I have spring onions. So I just like to take off the roots of the spring onion. This has been cleaned before. Then also I like to take out these pointy edges of the spring onion. I do not like to see them in my meal. So last but not the least, I'll be chopping this Scotch bonnet pepper. So I'll be using just a few, about 7 of them. So I'm transferring in here. I'm done chopping all the vegetables I'll be needing for my cooking. So now I'm going to go ahead and start to boil some water that I'll be using for the couscous, and also going to start stir frying my shrimps. I'm adding in some water, not too much, just enough. So I'll be adding some salt, about a tablespoon of salt, 1 seasoning cube, and a tablespoon of curry powder. So the reason why I'm adding this curry powder is to get that yellow fried rice color. I'm going to let this water come to a rolling boil, and we're going to be turning off the heat and adding our couscous. I'll be using some Golden Penny pure soya oil to fry my shrimps here. So I've turned on the heat and my pan is heated nicely. A little. So my water has boiled. As you can see, it's come to a rolling boil. So I'll turn off the heat and then I'll be adding in my couscous. So you want to add in enough quantity to soak up the quantity of water you actually placed in the pot. This is enough. I'll just be covering this and I'll be letting that sit for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be coming back to it. So while we are waiting for the couscous to get properly steamed, I'll be adding, this oil is heated nicely, so I'll just gently be adding in my shrimps. Also, I'll be adding in about half my seasoning cube, just to season it, and a pinch of salt. So I'm just going to let this cook for 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so this couscous has been soaking for a while now. So what I usually like to do is to use a fork and just fluff it. This way I end up having nice couscous that isn't soggy. So you just fluff. I have nicely fluffed my couscous to the consistency I like. This way when I cook it, it doesn't just stick together. So now we are going to be checking up on our prawns to see how it is doing. So I've fluffed my couscous to the consistency I like, and now my prawn is nicely cooked, so I'll be taking that out. So this is done. Now I'll be reducing some of this oil. I'll still be using the same oil I used in frying the shrimp for the couscous and the stir fry because of the flavor. I'll be reducing it because this is a bit too much for me, and taking out every residue there. So let's reduce this and come back. All right, so I've reduced the oil, and this is the quantity I'm left with in the pan. So I'll be adding my onions first. And I'll just saute this for about a minute. Next, I'll be adding my minced garlic. So I'm going to let this saute also for 1 minute. But guys, You need to be in this kitchen right now. The aroma in this kitchen is heavenly. It's marvelous, trust me. This has sauteed for 1 minute, and I'll be adding my Scotch bonnet pepper here. Add that. So if you like more heat in your food, you can actually add more Scotch bonnet pepper if you want to, but I mean, I just think this is enough for me. So I'm going to let this also fry for just 1 minute too. I don't want to overcook my veggies. Next, I'll be going in with my carrots. So I'm adding the carrots first because it's the harder vegetable. So add that in. I'm just going to let this cook for 1 minute, just 1 minute, and then we'll be adding the rest of the veggies. This has cooked for about a minute now, and I don't want my carrots too soft. I still like to feel the crunch in it while I'm eating it. So I'm adding in my bell peppers. This is the yellow bell pepper, the green bell pepper, the red bell pepper. Just take a look at this pan and tell me you do not just feel like eating what is here. This is like a sauce already that you can use to eat. So while that is frying, I'll be adding in the rest of my curry powder and also the half of my seasoning cube. Also, I'm adding in my salt. And you just want to stir this together to combine nicely. The aroma, guys, the aroma, the color, the burst of flavors. I mean, guys, you can't get better than this. You can't get healthier than this. I'm just going to let this saute for another minute, and then we'll be reintroducing our shrimp and then adding the star of the dish, which is our golden penny couscous. This has been sauteing for a minute now, so I'll go ahead and reintroduce the shrimp we stir-fried earlier. Stir-fried earlier, and just add that. Now I'm going to be adding the couscous we steamed earlier, and I'll be adding that in batches, so I can stir it properly and combine it with. So I've added the couscous to this and combined properly. So I did all this with the heat on low because you want this to just gradually steam. You don't want to overcook anything. So next we'll be going in with some sweet corn. Combine this properly. So I won't let this cook for long. I'll just go ahead, add in my spring onions. So I'm just going to let this sit for just a minute, and then I'll be turning off the heat. So the residual heat from the dish is just going to do the rest of the work. This has been steaming on very low heat for 1 minute. So I just turned off the heat now, and I'll just give this one last final stir. I mean, who doesn't want to eat this? Like, this is so inviting. This looks very colorful, filled with flavor. I mean, come on guys, come on. You need to give couscous, like if you've written couscous off, trust me, you need to give couscous another chance. Just try using Golden Penny this time around. Don't go for those other brands, and then you come back and thank me. So in a minute time, I'll be turning off this, and then we can have a feast.